Turk, Ed Henry. We're with Jeff Buongiorno as well. He's a candidate for Congress near to Palm Beach, just down the road. Good morning and welcome.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
We're going to have a precinct captain on in a moment from Arizona because we want to show people how you got to win these races at the ground level.
Yeah.
Credit to Stephen K. Bannon, who's on right after us, who's been talking about this for a long time.
Precinct strategy.
Absolutely. And Ralph and Chuck talk about it when they're here. And so you told me yesterday that you brought in some of the people who helped Youngkin win in Virginia. How important is this kind of strategy to make sure there's not fraud and make sure you're getting your people to the polls?
Well,
Primary Tuesday, by the way.
Sure. Primary's Tuesday. I'm running against Brian Mast in District 21, and I was endorsed by Stephen Stern, who's a big part of precinct strategy, and they're doing some great work. They're flushing out the rhinos in a lot of these GOP committees that have they tend to lean towards the establishment. And yeah, we brought down some great folks. We're doing some door knocking, getting out to vote. People think that voting is political. It's your civic duty, folks. Get out there. Primary is very important. Well, that determines who goes on the ballot in November. We want to keep the rhinos out. They did a great job getting rid of Liz Cheney. Let's keep it up. Brian Mast, another rhino. Adam Kinzinger, Dan Crenshaw, all these military guys using identity politics to promote the agenda. They're controlled.
You put Brian Mast in that category because he served honorably for our country.
I respect his service, and for 18 years, I had a training school. We trained veterans. We took them from boot camp to suit camp, got them jobs in IT, and a lot of them they did harbor some resentment. I love them all, but not every military member is a great fit for Congress.
Yeah, I actually am glad that you brought up the local level and the rhino establishment, because I think what people need to realize, if they don't realize it already, is that precinct strategy is really important because it affects the local organizations like in Palm Beach County or a local REC. And those organizations then answer to the GOP, where funding is provided for a lot of these congressional races and other races like the one that you're in. So if they're only going to give money to the candidates that are a part of the establishment, it creates a real problem for candidates that want to be MAGA and want to be America first.
It's a huge problem. They're definitely behind the establishment, and only the establishment. It all rolls down from D.C. and the Republican Party in Florida. From the swamp, it's a microcosm of the swamp down here.
What's website?
It is, and I want to bring up. I wrote a letter to the local REC, to somebody in the local REC who I won't name his name on the show. He knows who he is.
You're not naming any names today.
I'm going to let them come to me first, but I'm going to call him out here on the show with you, Jeff, because I wrote him a letter about court corruption about 60 days ago, and he wrote back to me, "I'm in the middle of an election, and I can't get involved in these local things." And I said, court corruption is a major issue. Do you see what's going on?
And yeah, we said it before. It's justice for just us conservatives. I believe that any legislation Congress passes should sunset in 4 years. Let the next Congress vote on it. Otherwise, we're strangled with regulations, and we sacrifice our freedoms. And yeah, court corruption's a big problem.
And I can't believe this local guy won't help you.
I'm too busy. You know what? Actually, I'll call him out. Michael Barnett, the president of the local REC. I told you court corruption was a problem. You told me that with the midterms coming up, that you didn't want to address it, that it wasn't the right time. I have an email about that. I really have avoided bringing it up again, but now that Jeff's here, I think I will. And Michael, I would love to have you on the show and talk about why court corruption is a problem.
And you should have Brian Mast on the show and ask him on my website, jeffbuongiorno.com. You'll see the evidence, and it lays out the grooming of a corrupt politician. Check it out.
Good luck next Tuesday.
Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming on. Guys, we want to quickly get out.